Hello friend, and welcome to the Slow Sim Driving channel on YouTube. I'm Grandpa Goes Gaming, and today we're continuing our celebration of hot hatches. Somebody thought it might be a good idea to have a one-lap race of the special stage Route X, so here it is with Willie on pole and Elton starting second, although Elton had the better start there in his AMG. Away he goes. Willie in second, Vincent team not being counted because he's in the wrong car again, as he was in the previous video. Then Chris Jar, Willie's down to fourth, Kevman, myself, Nick Baker, McFlurry all racing here. So we're about to have one of the slowest slipstream trains in history. Kevman there in the only pack currently on this track. And well, Vincent's team's taking the lead, but we're going to, like I said, ignore him because he got the wrong car. So Kevman is about to get a bump draft, I think, yes, from McFlurry, but will this help? Do the Civics have what it takes to catch up to the cars in front? It's going to take a really long time to find out. Although starting to draw Willie in, I think Willie is just falling off the back of that cars in front, so maybe there's going to be an extra car for the slipstream train, although McFlurry there stepping out the slipstream to have a look, steps back in again, but he hasn't got the top speed to actually do anything with that. And this does seem a little bit of a strange idea that perhaps we won't do again. Okay, we're approaching the first bank corner. This is probably where any moves that are going to be made will be made. And well, I guess he was closer to actually make a move. Perhaps McFlurry or Kevman could make a move. Kevman there taking a look around the outside of Willie, nothing happening there. McFlurry dives to the inside, uses Willie's slipstream to get underneath Kevman, so that was a good call by McFlurry. Yeah, a really high speed manoeuvre he's just pulled off there to get past. I know it's not particularly high speed, is it? But Nick having a look, and Kevman, can he get back past? He got the momentum to do it. I'm not entirely sure. He's trying. Don't know if he's going to get a nudge from Nick Baker. I don't think he is. Going three wide, we come back on to that straight. Grandpa Mobile has fallen back. You've got to assume there's some sort of an issue there. Kevman squeaks way back into fifth. Perhaps a little bit of help from Nick behind him. And well, this could go on for the entire straight, I suppose. And here we go into the second banked corner where it's all gonna happen. Elton leads the way from Chris Jar. Here he is. Nice gap back to Chris Jar actually. He's chasing Vincent team's wrong car. And then Willie and the pack, who are going to be fighting over those positions. Kevman in fifth still. Can McFlurry get around him? Or is McFlurry actually under pressure now from Nick? Nick, who moves into sixth place. He's played that well. He's also got the slipstream from Willie up ahead, but not sure that's going to help him too much. Kevman drops back in. McFlurry's been shuffled to the outside. McFlurry, I think, about to lose out just here. Yeah, Nick does indeed make it up to sixth place, so McFlurry there with no way back into that slipstream train. Elton wins. Up ahead, Nick still looking for a way in, then Chris Jar. Is Willie going to get in there next? I think it's Willie, then Kevman, McFlurry and Nick. And, well, I didn't really bother with that one too much. The Golf not really able to compete. Well done, Elton, you're the fastest in a straight line, apparently. But back to some real racing, and we're at Colorado Springs. We've got the dirt tyres on. It's time to make these cars as filthy as possible. Another great launch by Elton, the AMG really proving to be quite formidable off the line. And he is away in that thing. Willie second. Then Chris Jar, all kinds of sideways. Myself in the Golf. Vincent team seems to have actually found the right car, or at least something like the right car. McFlurry, they're going backwards into that corner, one of McFlurry, so he loses out to Kevman, and then Nick at the back, wondering why he brought a Yaris to a gunfight. Elton under pressure now from Chris. Once that AMG's got away, it's not perhaps as spry as he would hope it to be on dirt. I think that's a pretty obvious thing to say. So everybody making it through there just about okay. But Chris Char slipping up into second place. Not always easy when your car just wants to go sideways to actually overtake somebody. These drivers at the front doing a great job, although Elton there with a penalty. So he could lose out to the Grandpa Mobile behind. Also, Kevman's there, McFlurry's there, Vincent team's there. Kevman and McFlurry side by side, as we have seen them so much recently. Kevman just managing to keep ahead of McFlurry, but getting very, very close to those bales. Must be very, very careful. Kevman out wide, McFlurry in tight, very different lines, but they both come together in the end. McFlurry though going up the inside, trying to make the move. Ahead of two of them, bashing doors, bashing panels. Wow, what a battle between these two. They both want the honours, both trying to take them. Overtaking again. So wow, and they're in there somewhere. There they are. Up ahead, I think there was a penalty being served. Yeah, Elton's got a 1.5 second penalty. Not sure if we're going to be able to take advantage of that. Just wait and see. Oh no, somebody hit the barrier. I think it was Kevman, so he's slowed down. He hasn't got a penalty for it, but he has lost that position to McFlurry. McFlurry's going to be chasing down my Golf, which is doing its best, bless it. Not easy to drive on dirt. I'm trying. Oh, Kevman shoving McFlurry very unceremoniously. McFlurry's not going to like that at all. He sides way back past Vincent team on the attack against Kevman. Those cars bouncing through there. McFlurry sends it, and he's through. He's right onto the back of that Golf, so McFlurry maybe driving angry at this point, or maybe just driving well. Kevman got a little bit wrong, didn't lose out, he's all good. McFlurry now on the attack against the Golf. How's he going to do? He's caught up well, but all he's got to do now is find a weakness. There's the weakness, then just shoving the Golf straight into the wall, absolutely murdering it. That's the way through. McFlurry takes that place. Kevman and Vincent's team go past as well. Of course, don't count out the Grandpa when he's been slighted, because he may just come back and put you in a barrier as well. Oh, Kevman getting his own back for McFlurry shoving him on the previous lap and getting through as well. Look out, that Golf is back, and this time it's not playing, it's getting serious and getting the line all wrong. McFlurry back into fourth, Kevman in fifth, and then we are in sixth. Got Vincent's team harassing us in seventh. In fact, Vincent's team, they're going through. That was all my fault, got that line completely wrong. Got back through again. Oh no, big battle taking place with Vincent team. Or Vincent time, we're going to say team because that's what we're saying. So there. The new Yaris and the old Golf battling it out. Looks like the Golf could have the measure of it though this time. And on the attack now against Kevman, who's out wide. Oh, it was McFlurry who was out wide, sorry. And that's really blocked me, unfortunately. Willie absolutely miles ahead at the moment. In fact, on his last lap already. So he's not hanging around for anyone. Maybe his car's tuned in a way that was not to regulations. That's the only way I can possibly think of him having such an enormous advantage. Either that or we all just suck and he's really good. So that could be a thing, I suppose. But this is a great battle here with Kevman, myself, Vincent Team and McFlurry. McFlurry getting that car all kinds of sideways. A man we know isn't afraid of his handbrake. A couple of cars out wide, McFlurry and Vincent Team I think, so myself up into 5th, although getting shoulder checked there by McFlurry, who's trying his best to get past. Can't really see what's happening in the dust. There we go. Willie heading into the pits now for his slow finish. Chris Char, he's been very alone in 2nd place, but he's not put a foot wrong or a wheel wrong. So Chris Char there doing it for the Yorkshire Tea, crossing the line for 2nd place. Then Elton has a penalty. That could upset things slightly for Elton. In fact, he's fallen into the clutches of the group behind him, so he may have had a big barrier impact. McFlurry takes 3rd, Kevman 4th, Elton demoted to 5th, myself in 6th, and Nick having a little bit of a drive around in 7th. Well done, Willie. You've won another one. And the final race in this test of hot hatches is of course a single lap of the Nürburgring endurance circuit, where Willie gets out of the way, apparently to let everybody else through, so he's giving himself a bit of a challenge, which means Elton is going to lead us away. As you can see, the track is a little bit damp, and that's going to catch a few people out. It has indeed. Elton went wide, Chris went wide, and it's Nick Baker who takes the lead in this race. Briefly, Elton comes back through in that AMG, which we've already seen having some great traction on dirt, so we know in the damp it's going to do well. Nick can hopefully keep up with him, and then we've got Kevman and myself, Chris and McFlurry, and then Willie is challenging himself to a last to first race. Let's see how he does with that. At the front, Elton's AMG starting to stretch his legs a little bit, but I stretched them too much and he's into the gravel along with Chris and Kevman. So Nick Baker, the man who is driving safely, is safely into the lead. And myself 2nd, of course, in a German car, German 1-2 at the moment on the German track. So shenanigans, that's what I'm calling. McFlurry is all over us in 3rd place, looking for that 2nd spot on the podium. Here he is, but he's got Elton for company. Elton's presumably cleaned up his tyres by now. At least it's not raining, so the track will dry, but of course there won't be a drying race line because there's only one racing lap, so that's not going to help anybody. Maybe there could just be more grip at the end as the water begins to evaporate. Elton taking a trip on to the grass, that's not going to help his tyres at all. In fact, when he goes to brake, he just slides into the back of McFlurry, knocking McFlurry into 2nd place, so I'm sure McFlurry won't mind that too much. Now we go on to the Northern Loop proper, and this is where the drivers are going to be really tested in these wet conditions. It's definitely risk versus reward time, and McFlurry there finding out that that risk wasn't quite worth the reward as he tried to go for a move on Nick Baker. Nick Baker though off, he's found the grass, and that's put Elton into the lead of this race in his AMG. McFlurry in that Civic there has a little bit of work to do to catch up to him. Nick's managed to hold 3rd, so it wasn't too disastrous for him. But this is one of those tracks where the penalties just build up, and then you have to serve them on a very difficult part of the track to serve them. That is the fastest part of the track. Everyone's going to be trying to get as few penalties as possible. It's more critical on this track than any other, I believe. Nick hemorrhaging positions at the moment though. He's just got all out of sorts, lost his rhythm. He needs to take a deep breath and re-engage his brain. I've had Chris there just doing his thing, flashing his lights as he always does. He's gone up into 3rd. Something happened to Elton. I don't know what happened, but I think he got a bit of a shove perhaps, or just outbraked himself. Either way, he was too wide and lost a whole lot of positions. Kevman seems to have clipped a barrier, and Nick once again taking to the grass, getting away with not getting a penalty. If you can just stop the car before it hits the barrier, you can usually avoid a penalty, and that's going to be something drivers are thinking about during this race. Willie now under pressure from the Grandpa Mobile, and there we go. That's ended. All the drivers there starting to negotiate what is quite a simple corner. Oh, Chris getting a bit of a punt from Nick Baker and giving him one back. And Nick Baker hitting the barrier, but of course, because it wasn't his fault, he doesn't get a penalty for it. Just for once, GT7 actually worked that out properly. Willie just driving away, all on his own, drifting around, doing his thing. McFlurry there in second. In the background, I think we saw Elton hitting the barrier. There's penalties all over the place. This really might come down to who has driven fast but safe, so not beyond the limit, shall we say. There was a few cars there having all kinds of incidents. Nick Baker hitting the barrier. Elton, well, he's up into fifth and no penalty still, so Elton looking good at the moment. Chris Shaw with 3.5 seconds of penalties. He's not going to be pleased with that at all. I think he's the highest scoring penalty haver at the moment, but he's just done something. We didn't see what it was because of the camera angle, and that's a disaster. 3.5 seconds of penalties, now quite a way off the back of the field. So I'm sure Chris is going to be using some very colourful language. Kev now under pressure from Elton. Elton comes through into third place. Kevman unable to come back at him. Back to Kevman on the grass and into the barrier, so Kevman doubling his penalty score. Not good at all. In fact, everyone except for Willie now has a penalty to serve. So, wow, what a legend. McFlurry only with a half-second penalty, doing his best to catch up the German in the lead. Elton there in the background, then myself being chased by Nick Baker, so we've got a bit of a battle forming here. And Kevman not too far behind either. In fact, we're longer on the lap already. And here comes the rain. The rain is falling here in Nürburgring on an already wet surface, and that is what happens. So an already treacherous and difficult race has now become a real struggle. Willie there has his first penalty of the race. McFlurry behind has a second less penalty, so if he can get within a second of Willie, then McFlurry could be on for a win. Elton is behind him. In fact, I think the rain might have stopped again. So just a little sprinkling, but enough to panic everybody into some massive accidents. McFlurry biding his time. He knows that he can use his lower penalty to help him keep momentum up on that final long stretch to the finish line, and that's where he's going to have his real strength. So no reason to risk much, while the drivers behind have really got to push to try and get the biggest advantage they can over McFlurry. But we're not too far behind Willie now. It seems that the drivers are starting to reel him in ever so slightly. Perhaps Willie was shaken by that penalty he got earlier. Now got 2.5 seconds of penalties, so the other drivers all of a sudden can smell something, and it smells like a possible win. Elton just behind with a 1.5 second penalty, so 1 second advantage in the penalty zone. McFlurry's actually gone. Has he had an incident? He's not got any more penalty. Perhaps he just got on the grass, but McFlurry did drop down the order. He's going to gain a few places though in the penalty zone, because everyone in front of him has a bigger penalty. Oh, there's a lot to keep track of here. There is a lot, but we are now beginning to approach that all-important penalty zone. And oh, Elton's lost it. Elton just missed his braking there, and that's going to put everybody on him. Yeah, he's really under pressure now from the rest of the field. In fact, that's Willie up ahead. So Willie's had an issue. McFlurry coming to take advantage of that, and somebody just hit Nick Baker. And Nick Baker's around, facing the wrong direction at the back of the field. Disaster for him, and disaster for Willie now, who has a 4-second penalty. It's gone a little bit wrong. The rain's falling again. And here comes the penalty zone. McFlurry's have a massive advantage here. But is it an advantage he can use? I think it is. Oh, Willie hit the grass before the car decelerated, and that spun him out. So he's suddenly losing places. Not too many places. Let's see, Elton up into second as a result of those penalties. Willie in fourth, myself in third. We've got Kevman in the background there as well. Chris Char and Nick Baker a long way back. And Willie going for the move. He wants his third place back, and he's got it. That golf, as we've already seen at Special Stage Route X, is no good in a straight line at all. We have all kind of shenanigans here in the braking zone, I think. Oh, McFlurry just gets it stopped. Elton gets a bit sideways and gets a penalty. But he's all right now. He's fine. He's got it sorted. And then where's he going? Oh, Elton, that's the wrong layout. That is the wrong layout, sir. You're not going that way. McFlurry wins. Willie second. Kevman third. Myself fourth. Elton actually sabotaged himself there by going to the wrong circuit layout. And then we've got Nick in sixth and Chris Char in last. Well done, McFlurry. Good win. So there you go. We did some science with the hatchbacks, and we now know that the result of that science is hatchbacks are fun. Hope you enjoyed the racing, and I hope you'll come back for some more. And until next time, bye bye for now.